The debates just recently, I want you to listen. I pulled out a couple of clips. We're going to listen to the first clip. Pay very close attention to everything that's said. It's a very short clip, but listen, here it is.
I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is, and now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt. And when I said they were bought and paid for, I meant the Republican establishment, not the Democratic establishment. Now you have Reid Hoffman, the person who's effectively George Soros Jr., funding lawsuits across this country against Donald Trump to keep him off the ballot, funding left-wing causes. We discovered this week that he is one of Nikki Haley's largest supporters. Larry Fink, the king of the woke industrial complex, the ESG movement, the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world, now supporting Nikki Haley. And to say that doesn't affect her is false, because it's after that meeting later that day that she says that every American needs to be doxxed by having their ID, their government-issued ID, tied to what they say on the internet. So I think that this is far more corrupt than I even imagined when I entered politics.
That's a revealing clip, is it not? And it's sad that these kind of truths were never revealed like this in the past. Because let's face it, most candidates play the political game of covering each other. You know, in other words, I hit you once and you hit me once and you call me a few names. Oh, man, that was good. You called me a few names, you know, and then we go out for drinks. I mean, that's really what politics has been about. And there's nothing wrong about the essence of that, unless, of course, you're really doing something vile, disruptive, illegal, wrong, hurtful to the nation, and I don't expose it. Or vice versa. Because, as I said, truth, justice, these are important attributes to America. Most of what goes on in D.C. these days has really been nothing more than theater. And it's a highly choreographed presentation, all put on for the benefit of you and I, the American citizen, just like the J6th, committee and all their hearings and the hearings on President Trump and the impeachment here. It was nothing more than political theater. Why? Because they were just looking to get your vote for the next election, because that's really all it's about. And I, for one, I don't believe any of what I see, any of what I hear any longer. I need to investigate it for myself to come to the conclusion. Now, I know what was shown in this clip seemed to be a little much. I mean, Vivek can be a little insulting. And that happening during a debate, well, you know, a lot of people don't like that. They frown on it. But truth is truth. And this kind of truth was never brought out quite like this before. I mean, I admit it started with Trump. And the media went ballistic when he did it. But now it seems like other candidates are beginning to realize there's something to that. And there is. There is. Because what are they doing? Exposing the truth. One of the reasons why we decided to name this show Exposed, the Calo podcast, is because we want to expose things that are being hidden by mainstream media today, and even by most media today. Sometimes it's all being hidden. One thing for sure, we can expect the deep state and all of those who are entrenched in politics to unleash the war machine, just as they did against Trump, just as they are doing against Trump, to unleash the war machine against people like Vivek. They're going to do it. They're going to do it against politicians. They're going to do it against you and I. And they are doing it against you and I. They're already releasing, the IRS and other agents. And they're investigating, Catholics and talking to priests and choir directors, because they consider them to be, potential terrorist threats. They talk to people on the far right, people like myself and other men that I know around the nation who are far right or maybe preachers, whatever. Sure, we're on the watch list. And all of this is because the left has weaponized the government against their enemies or their political enemies. And none of this has really come to light completely yet. Those of us on the right are aware of it, but there are many people who only watch CNN or MSNBC, and they don't get their news anywhere else. And I'll tell you, if you just tune in to CNN, I did this morning for just maybe 15 minutes, and I was getting angry and then nauseous listening to it. Oh, the numbers are so great on the, oh my God, the economy is just booming. It's been trucking along since 2020, 2021, 20. It's been trucking along. The economy is doing great. Biden is doing such a great job. Of course, they didn't mention the word Bidenomics anymore. But anyhow, they always they took the whole thing and twisted it around. This is what they do.